Hello everyone, welcome you back in my geography classes. Today I am back with a new video on the practical work for class 12 geography. In the last video, we learned how to construct the simple bar diagram. There are different methods by which we can represent the statistical data. There are different ways by which we can represent the data graphically. So let us start with the topic of line graph. Now what is a line graph? A line graph is a graphical display of information that changes continuously over time. It may also be referred as a line chart. It is the simplest method. Now, in a line graph, we will see that there are points. And these points are connected, and this connecting points means these are the data which show a continuous change, and these are joined by straight lines. Now the lines in a line graph can descend and can ascend. It can mean both way. It can descend, it can ascend. We can see in this way. So the graph can be descend and ascend based on the data. Now according to Blur, what is the definition of line graph? The simplest to understand, the easiest to make, the most variable and most widely used type of chart is the line graph. Now what is the purpose of line graph? Why do we construct a line graph? We usually draw the line graph to represent the time series data. Like the data is related to the temperature, rainfall, population growth, birth rate and death rate. In such data, we need to construct a line graph so that we can represent these data properly graphically. Now let us know what are the different types of line graph. The line graph are divided into four types: simple line graph, multiple line graph, compound line graph and divergent line graph. Now let us first know about the simple line graph and multiple line graph. Now, what is a simple line graph? Simple line graph means which is drawn to show a single series data. So I got a single series data, and just by putting the points and joining it, we've completed drawing the simple line graph. Now what is a multiple line graph? Multiple line graph means the axis will be same. Now on this same axis, when we plot two or more lines, that means the data is plotted with two or more lines. Here we depict two or more variables that changes over the same period of time. So here we have different data. The axis will be same. But two or more lines are drawn so that we can depict two or more variables. This is referred as a multiple line graph, or we can also say this as a polygraph. Now let us know about the other two types of line graph. Number 3 is compound line graph, where we can see that if information can be subdivided into two or more types of data, then we can construct the compound line graph. Suppose we got a total population growth and it is subdivided into female population growth, male population growth. Then in a same graph, we can draw the three lines and we represent it as a compound line graph. So the three lines will represent three different datas. Now coming to the divergent line graph, it is used when one set of data is provided for part of the period under consideration, and then this data is split into separate components for another part of that period. Here actually we show the divergence in the data. Here we calculate the mean value and then we draw the graph. So there were four types of line graph that we have understood: simple line graph, multiple line graph, compound line graph and divergent line graph. So in the syllabus of class 12, you have the simple line graph and also you have the multiple line graph, or that we can say as polygraph. Now let us know about the parts of the line graph. Now let us know about the parts of a line graph. The line graph has two axis, the horizontal axis and the vertical axis. This is the x-axis and this is the y-axis, the horizontal and the vertical axis. Now here in the x-axis we will see it is the time series, mainly the time series data, the time series, or we can see the occurrences that being compared over the time is represented, and in the y-axis it represents a scale which represents a set of numbers that represent the data. For example, here we have months and here we have temperature in degree Celsius. So it is represented in x-axis, that is months, and temperature in degree Celsius represented in the y-axis. Then there we have the points which shows the data. The points are joined, that means these are the intersection points of the y-axis and the x-axis, and this line is referred as a trend. So this is a trend. These are the points and this is the trend. Now it needs a labeling, like I have done the labeling here, like months and temperature, so that we can indicate what kind of data is represented in the graph, and it needs a proper title. Now why do we need a title? Because it tells about the data for each line graph is plotted. So what are the different parts? Title, axis, trend, level, and also we have points. So these are the different parts of a line graph. Let us see what are the advantages and disadvantages of a line graph. Now what are the advantages of a line graph? The advantages of a line graph are, it gives a quick analysis. Very easily we can analyze the changes over time. It is easy to plot, very easy, because only the points are to be plotted and a straight line is just to be joined, the points to be joined by a straight line. Can easily observe changes over a certain period of time. Very helpful to show small changes which are really difficult to measure in other graphs, like in bar graph. It represents a good impression of trend, and with the help of trend we can understand the changes. Both negative and positive values are indicated. Relationship between two or more variables can be easily identified. Now what are the disadvantages? A wide range of data is challenging to plot. Yes, in this graph, if you will have a wide range of data, it will be very challenging to plot. It is ideal for representing data made of total figure. It becomes very inconvenient if we have to plot fractions. So it is only ideal to represent the data made of total figure. Can be only used to show data over time, and without consistent scale on the x-axis, that means on the axis, if the scale is not consistent, it is really difficult to plot. Sometimes it becomes inconvenient, it becomes inaccurate. So we need a consistent scale. So these are the advantages and disadvantages of a line graph. Now let us learn how to construct the line graph. Construct a line graph to represent the growth rate of population in India 1901 to 2011. So this is the year and this is the data in growth rate in percentage. So first what we will do, we will round off the data because it is not possible to plot 0.56 in a line graph. So 0.56 will become 0.6. For 1901 we do not have any data, so we are starting with 1911. 1921 will become minus 0.3. 1931 1.0. 1941 1.3. 1.25, that is for 1951 will become 1.3. 1.96 is 2.0. 2.20 2.2. 2.22 2.2. 2.14 2.1. 1.93 1.9 and 1.79 is 1.8. Now after rounding it off, let us see that which is the highest number and which is the lowest. The highest is 2.22 and the lowest is minus 0.30. So when we will take a scale, we have to take a scale in such a way so that all the data should be included in that scale. Now after rounding the data, we will draw the x-axis and the y-axis. In the x-axis, we will put the years, and in the y-axis, the growth rate in percentage, that is the scale. So this is the x-axis, here we will write the years. 1901, 1911, 1921, 1931, 1941, 1951, 61, 71, 81, 1991, 2001 and 2011. So this is a year, and here we will put the scale. Now we will take a scale of 0.5. So this will be minus 0.5, 0, 0.5, 1.0, 1.5, 2.0, 2.5, 3.0. Now we will plot. How we will plot? By taking the midpoints. So here in the x-axis 1 centimeter represents 1 year, and here in the y-axis 1 centimeter represents 0.5 unit growth of population in percentage. So now let us plot. We will plot according to the midpoints. So these are the midpoints. Now you will put a scale and then you will plot. Here 0.5, here is a minus 0.5, 0, 0.5, like this it is increasing. For 1901, we do not have any data, so we will not plot it. Then we have 1911 and it is 0.6. So this is 0.5, just above here like this, 0.6. Next one is minus 0.3. So here it will be 0.3. Then we have 1.0. It is here 1.0. Just a dot and then circle it. We are only putting the dots and we will then circle it. Then we have 1941, 1.3. This is 1, so 1.3 roughly here. Next one is also 1.3. Okay, now for 1961 it is 2.0. So 2.0 is for 1961 here. Then we have 2.2. This is 2.0, so round about here 2.2. This is also 2.2. For 1991 also the data is 2.2. For 2001 the data is 1.9. So 1.9, this is 1.5. So 9 round about here. Then we have 1.8. Just below it. You will put a scale and you will just plot it. Okay? Now we will join it. We should join it with the help of a scale. Now 1901 is as because there is no value, so we will not start the line from here. We will start it from 1911. So it will be just points will be joined. This is the line graph. Draw the box. This one also I am joining because minus 0.5 is also taken as a scale. Now here we will write years. Here we will write growth rate in percentage. Then we will make the index. Line. We will put a scale I already told you that scale, index, then the labeling and the heading is a very important part. Scale, x-axis, 1 centimeter represents 1 year. And y-axis, 1 centimeter represents 0.5 units growth rate in percentage. We will give the heading line graph showing, already the heading is in the question, growth rate of population in India 1901 to 2011. Just we are going to write it down. Growth rate of population in India (1901 to 2011). Now what is left to be done? Just draw a box. And the work is done. So we have to put the heading, the leveling, the scale and the index. And this is the trend. You can do it with free hand or you can use a scale. As I'm not using a scale, just I did it with my rough hand. So this is how we construct the line graph. Hope all of you understood what I have discussed in today's video. We learned about the line graph, what are the different types of line graph. We learned about the parts of a line graph, its advantages, disadvantages, and how to construct a line graph. If you like my content and my video, do hit the like button. If you have any problem or any suggestion, you can comment in the comment box given below. If you are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for further notification of my upcoming videos. Till then, stay at your home and stay safe. Thank you.